Hello, everyone, and welcome to Burn the Ship, the podcast that helps entrepreneurs go all in on their business, and we introduce them to professionals that can help them to do so. Today, we have a very special guest. Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent. Please introduce yourself and the name of your business.
Yeah, my name is Mike Kintz. I am the president and founder of a company called Wingman Payments.
Awesome, awesome. We so look forward to learning more about your business. But before we go there, we want to learn a little bit more about your journey. Okay. So please take a little time and tell us about your story.
Well, I grew up in California. If we really want to go way back, I was born in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Okay, nice.
My dad was in the military and cleaned up after Hurricane Camille came through in 1969.
Okay.
So I didn't live there very long, but grew up in California in the Sacramento area. Mm-hmm. Went to Elk Grove High School, all that stuff. Got married fairly young. Okay. Met my wife where I worked, and started working for Wells Fargo Bank back around 95 time frame.
Okay.
So I've been in the financial services industry for a long time.
Okay.
It's a funny story how I got that job. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't go to college.
Okay.
What wasn't really for me. Mm-hmm. I did go to some college, but never really followed through with it.
I got you.
So my very first sales job that I got to break into corporate, because I didn't have any college and I didn't have any sales background. Okay. So getting that first job is a challenge.
It is.
So I remember meeting Dan Bailey with Wells Fargo Bank, and I had worked in grocery stores, and there was a new concept called in-store banking.
Okay.
So Wells Fargo had this idea of putting an ATM in a grocery store and staffing it with a banking center manager. And your job was to walk around the store, introduce yourself to people shopping, and try to open checking accounts.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. It was also not easy.
Okay. I can believe it because they're trying to get their groceries, not a bank account.
The last thing you want to do is open a checking account when your kids are trying to pick a cereal.
That's right.
So I met with Dan Bailey. I thought we had a good interview. I never got a call back.
Okay.
However, I continued to call him 3 times a week for about 8 weeks.
Oh, man. I like that persistence.
And he never ever said no. I never got any communication, said that they didn't want me or anything like that. So I just kept following up, leaving voicemails. And then one day his office assistant called me and said, "Hey, Mike, we want you to come in for a second interview." And Dan basically shared with me, it's like, look, it's our company policy that you need to either have a college degree or you have to have a sales background for this position. Mm-hmm. You don't have either. But you've been following up. He goes, if you do half of what you're doing, working for us, I have no doubt you're going to do well. So he took a chance. They got some waivers to get past their corporate policies and got me started. And actually made President's Club the first year in that position. So,
good.
It paid off for him.
It definitely did.
So we worked for Wells Fargo, moved into in-store banking, where we had full-service branches, and I was a bank manager for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And around 2000, I had an opportunity to work for Wells Fargo Merchant Services, which was basically how I got into merchant services. Okay. So the way that works is it was a joint venture between Wells Fargo and a company called First Data at the time. Mm-hmm. And so First Data actually owned the employees. So I literally applied at First Data and was hired by First Data, leaving my job at Wells Fargo to work for Wells Fargo Merchant Services.
Okay.
So it's kind of confusing. So even though I left the company, it was kind of like a promotion, right?
Okay.
And my job was to sell merchant services to business customers for Wells Fargo Bank, and all the branches that I was supporting were my colleagues the week before. So I was a branch manager. So I already had rapport with everybody. They already knew. I knew all their application processes. I knew everything. Mm-hmm. So obviously it's a very natural fit.
Yes.
Obviously I did very well in that position just because I had the rapport. They already had the trust to refer me business and work closely together. Mm-hmm. So we did that for about 18 months. And then I got tapped on the shoulder by my regional sales manager at the time, who was taking a promotion to the East Coast. Okay. There was a bank merger. There were some divested branches with Fleet. I think it was Bank Boston and Fleet merged. Mm-hmm. So they had a more merchant portfolio. And Sovereign Bank bought the divested branches. So I went to become a regional sales manager for Sovereign Merchant Services, living in Pennsylvania, and I was a regional sales manager. My territory was New Jersey. So I supported all the sovereign banks, and I hired a sales team and coached and mentored that sales team and worked closely with the bank to build a portfolio.
Is this still under Wells Fargo Merchant Services?
No, this was
or is
Sovereign
this
Merchant
separate?
Services.
So
This
you-
is now, I left Wells Fargo to go to Sovereign. I'm still a First Data employee, so it's that
I get it.
same banking relationship, but I just moved to a different bank alliance.
I got you.
And now I'm still with the same company. I'm just working with a different bank program and relocated my family across country.
How was that
that.
transition going from, this is in California, going to Pennsylvania? How was that?
Loved it. I mean, I grew up in California. We were, for me personally, we were, all my extended family was in Iowa where my parents grew up.
Okay.
So we didn't have a lot of close family around. So moving across country and stuff, I never grew up with that close knit, like all your cousins and everything come over and stuff. So I didn't really grow up with that. I think if I would have had that, it probably would have been harder to relocate.
Yeah.
So we relocated. It went pretty well. Our kids were really young.
Okay.
So literally kindergarten, first grade. So like it was not a big deal. So they really, that's where they remember growing up in that community. Made tons of friends. Schools were really good in the East Coast over in that area. And one of the cool things about that area of the country is its history.
Okay.
Like when I grew up in California and going through the history books, it's books.
Yes.
But when you we lived like literally 2 miles from Washington's Crossing,
Okay.
where Washington crossed the Delaware.
Yes.
So like the whole history book just opens up when you live there. We were near Gettysburg, Valley Forge, like all these things within a short period of time. So obviously you got to see the Liberty Bell and do a bunch of stuff. Went to the Statue of Liberty, so that was pretty cool. Anytime family came to visit us, we would go to New York City.
Yeah,
and do
plenty of places to take them.
Yeah, so we did a lot of stuff like that. So it was a really good time.
Good.
Worked basically with Sovereign up till about 2007.
Okay.
And in 2007, I had the opportunity to take a role as director of sales for Sam's merchant credit card processing. The important thing to understand about that, everything I had done prior was outside sales.
Okay.
So everything was outside, meeting with business owners, very entrepreneurial, very relationship driven. What I had now transitioned to as a director of sales of Sam's merchant credit card processing was inside sales.
Yeah.
So they literally had 100
Yeah.
salespeople here in Marietta, Georgia. So I relocated my family to Atlanta, and that's how I got to Atlanta. This. So I was a director. I had 2 regional salespeople, managers under me, and then I had about I want to say about 40 people that were under my management.
Okay.
You know, we had 2 directors service Sam's Club. Literally, we were spending, I think our budget was $3 million a month on direct mail.
Okay.
And we were sending direct mail to business owners that were Sam's Club members.
Okay.
And basically, our phones would ring. So it was all inbound. It wasn't even outbound sales.
Okay.
It was literally the phone would ring about 12 to 15,000 times a month.
Oh, wow.
And we would close about 4,000 accounts a month.
Whoa. That's amazing.
And what was really challenging is a lot of these people that took the calls thought they were good salespeople.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. No.
It's not hard to be a good salesperson when they just calling you, man.
Yes,
we would listen to calls, we would coach, we would do a lot of stuff like that.
Wow.
So you know that's what we did.
Okay.
And that's how I got to Atlanta.
Okay. Now, you made it to Atlanta. You're in a little bit different environment, went from outside to just receiving opportunities, which is awesome. Now I know just $3 million a month in budget, and then I'll be just fine. But now it seems like things have changed a little bit. I know when we were in pre-production, we were talking a little bit about when you got started in your actual business. It seems like we're getting close to that point. Was there an event that happened under your new position that made you start to think about burning the ship and going all in on your own business?
Yeah, so back when I first came into Sovereign, I had met a gentleman named Chris Briller.
Okay.
And he was one of my account executives. And Chris Briller and I became friends, and we have stayed in touch over the years. So now I'm at Sam's Club Merchant Credit Card Processing, and it was inside sales. It was much more it wasn't so entrepreneurial where you're talking to business owners every day and you're really, you're getting out, meeting businesses, going to their environment, trying to solve problems and help them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot more of taking phone calls and then dealing with HR issues because, Sally said an inappropriate joke. Like, so you're dealing with all the inner office stuff. When you get 100 people in cubicles, for some reason they just can't get along.
Yes.
So,
yes. Makes sense.
And so going from those environments, it was just totally different. So it wasn't great. I was used to driving and being out a lot, but a lot of it was going out in the field and working with account executives, working with business owners, and being very entrepreneurial. This job was driving an hour every day to an office, and it was just a different feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't entirely happy. And then there were some things that went on inter-officely where there were some investigations going on and stuff with some of our leadership. So that period of time was very challenging because there was a period of time where literally I went from having 4 directors and a boss to myself was the only person in there with like 200 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was a lot of other stuff going on that I'm really not going to get into here.
Yeah.
It's not really important, but it was just a very challenging time. And right at that time, Chris Briller calls me and says, "Hey, Mike, I'm going to start an ISO."
Okay.
I'm like, "You're going to what?" He's like, I got some investors. We're going to start an ISO. We're going to call it Merchant Pro Express. I'm like, "Okay." You in? And I'm like, we have some things to talk about, but I mean, if we can make the numbers work, I'm in.
For sure.
So we made the numbers work.
Okay.
And started Merchant Pro Express in February of 2009.
Okay.
And from scratch. We had no clients. We had nothing.
Yeah.
So we were
started up.
We were a Wells Fargo ISO. Wells Fargo keeps coming up through my story. We were a Wells Fargo sponsored ISO. So we, basically had a boarding platform, and we went to Omaha. I remember flying to Omaha with Chris and another girl that I can't even remember her name now, but she was going to be one of our people processing applications and stuff like that. So we went to Omaha for the training with him, and then we started going. And obviously, because of his background with First Data, my background with First Data, we knew a lot of people in the industry, a lot of salespeople, a lot of people that had left the company. So, that's kind of how we started.
We're able to recruit and start getting going. Yeah. Now, tell us about what it is that you do, and then also want to know what was the strategy that you guys used starting from scratch, getting all the way going. So share with us what you do and how you did it.
Well, I think some of the frustrations through First Data that Chris and I learned was you would take your top salespeople that would blow their numbers out every year, 150, 170% of plan. So what do? You
just increase it more.
You increase their plan, and basically you have to do more to make less.
Yes.
So a lot of top salespeople get very frustrated with that because, you know this too, that 80% of your production usually comes from about 20% of your people.
That's a fact.
So the same thing with your customers. 80% of your revenue usually comes from about the top 20% of your customers. So that was something we knew. So what we did was we were really focused on building a model. Obviously, we had a lot of trust built in with our people that we were close with and that we worked with. So it was really about putting together a program that would allow people to just go sell, build a lifestyle for themselves. And it's interesting to see where people feel comfortable, because you can see when they feel comfortable because their sales stop.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So you'll see them hit it hard, hit it hard, and then you get those rare people, which we have a few in our organization. Those rare people that they're never satisfied, and they just keep selling and selling and selling and selling, and those are the ones that start getting like 6-digit monthly residual checks.
Yes.
They're rare birds that you find, but they are out there.
Right. Yeah. Well, awesome. So you guys got a team going, and you're helping with credit card processing. Tell us a little bit more about what it is that you're offering to if someone that is watching today wants to learn more about your business.
So what Wingman Payments is we're a merchant service provider and a point of sale provider. So really what we focus on is basically the 4 frustrations every merchant has. It's hidden fees or not clear or transparent pricing. So they get frustrated with that.
Right.
It's excessive fees where, we had an orthodontist the other day that we met with, and their effective cost of service with practice management software was just under 6%.
Okay.
and you see that stuff as well, right?
Yes.
The other thing is outdated technology. They can't take mobile wallets. They can't do text payments. They're struggling with maybe integrations with their financial software that they would like. So they just get frustrated with like outdated technology or inefficient technology for what they're trying to do. Or they have multiple platforms. For mobile payments, they use this, but then for their office, they use this.
Right.
So, kind of streamlining things for them. And then the last thing that I think is probably the biggest in our industry, and I'll say our industry because I know you kind of have a background in it as well, is support and service.
Right.
Like our industry is horrible for support and service. When you call customer service, you're typically being transferred around.
Right.
A lot of times you end up in a foreign call center speaking to someone named Joe you don't know. And I think most merchants, especially small business owners, get very frustrated with just not having somebody they can call. I just have a question. I just want to get an answer.
Right.
And so I think those are the 4 things that Wingman Payments really focuses on. We do a good job at that.
Yes.
And our motto, our slogan for our company is "We've got your 6."
Okay.
Kind of playing off the Wingman Payments
makes
brand,
sense.
but
Makes sense.
and it's just to let people know they got their back. Like I had a customer call me this morning on the way over here, and we solved a problem in a few minutes.
Right.
While I'm driving a car to do a podcast.
That's right.
That's right. If you were with another processor, you were probably getting transferred out in a call tree, and your situation maybe gets resolved or maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Yes.
But you don't have a relationship, and typically the first question you get is, "What's your merchant number?"
Right.
It's not.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Like, hey, Phil, what's going on?
That's right.
What's going on this morning? How can I help you?
That's right. Excellent. Tell us a little bit about, because you've talked about your clients. Seems like you help all types of clients. Would that be a correct assumption?
Yeah, we work with small businesses, and we have some larger private equity firms we work with, and then we've also helped some SaaS companies integrate payments into their SaaS platforms and actually create a revenue stream from it.
Yes.
And then we're working with a small bank right now. We're in the infancy stage, but we're talking to them about doing their merchant services for the bank, but I'm not doing it as a referral partner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to train the bank on how to sell and service merchant service, coming back from my sovereign days.
Makes sense.
Where I'm going to train their people and their staff how to sell the product. Yeah. You guys sell and service it. You know your customers better than I do. You know your culture better than I do.
Right.
If you're going to refer to one person to service your branch, it's going to fail.
Yes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a bunch of sense. And geographically, no restrictions all over the country.
Yeah. Wingman Payments, I'm primarily focused on the Atlanta market just because I'm local here. My family's local here.
Okay.
We want to be involved in the community. We want to work with merchants in the community, but we service the entire United States. And I have independent agents in different parts of the country that if it works, and sometimes I'll refer it to them just because they're local. They can have a personal relationship.
Yes.
And typically that's going to be a better situation than, not that I'm going to treat them bad, but if you can have a personal relationship with someone local, it's better.
Right. Yeah, that is true. It is definitely a relationship type business. And talking about relationships, you have shared with us about your business, what you do, and how you're helping. Are there specific referral partners out there that will be a good connection with you if they're watching the show today?
Yeah, so probably a good referral partner for us is obviously any business owner looking to have a personal relationship with their merchant service provider, number one. The other good one is if you're a CPA or some type of business professional that deals from a financial standpoint. We're a great resource to add value to your service because when you get their statements, we can just look at it and provide you feedback to let you know if they're priced well, if they're not priced well, or if they've got certain issues they're dealing with that we might be able to solve. And then the other is technology companies. In our space today, there's tons of people just looking to integrate payments with platforms, systems, and we have technology, APIs, SDKs to help with that. And we've been successful. We have a track record of it. So we love working with, technology guys that are just maybe not payments people, but they've got some really cool technology that they want to do. In fact, we worked with one guy locally here that's built a platform to compete with Eventbrite.
Okay.
And, it's incredible what he's
awesome,
done.
yeah.
he's actually really gotten into the rodeo circuit. He was initially going after like basketball tournaments and stuff like that, but some rodeo guys got a hold of it. They love his platform, and we just did a customer testimonial video up in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
For a rodeo that we did up there.
Nice.
And so so that's pretty cool to see somebody start something 2 years ago, and now he's
on to that new thing.
He's bidding on a festival down in Florida where there's gonna be like 25,000 people there.
Nice.
So it's really starting to take off. So it's pretty cool. So those are the types of people we like to work with.
Well, good. We always want to try to find out who we can try to connect you with and try to help support your business. And you have shared a lot about your journey coming from Mississippi to California to the East Coast and now here down south. And I'm confident that over that journey, you have acquired and nurtured a bunch of best practices that have helped you to be successful. Do you mind sharing with the audience some of those best practices?
Probably the biggest one is don't quit.
Okay.
And I can reference a point when we started Merchant Pro Express where it was kind of a point where we weren't really making a lot of money. I wasn't even sure if the company was gonna keep going. I actually had a job offer on the table back in my corporate career with Wells Fargo as a regional, working for Wells Fargo doing merchant services again. And I had a decision to make.
Okay.
And that decision, I ultimately said, I'm going to stick it out. I can't leave because I'm loyal, and was with Chris and stuff. And I just said I couldn't do it at the end of the day. So never quit is probably the biggest thing. Stay on the goal and just keep falling forward.
Yeah.
Keep find different ways to make mistakes and just keep moving forward, and it works out. And I think the biggest thing that's helped me through my career is putting customer first.
Okay.
Always do the right thing for the customer in business, and most of the time it's going to work out in everybody involved.
Yes. Yes.
And so I see too many organizations, and I saw it firsthand when they bought Merchant Pro Express from us, and I saw what they did to our customers after they purchased it, where they were just like clockwork, just increasing the margins religiously, adding annual fees, adding things. So it was very frustrating to see like your customers calling you going, what the heck's going on?
That's right.
I was the one taking the calls, but it was frustrating. I mean, even though I still profited from it, it was still frustrating, and I couldn't control it.
Right. Yeah. Once it left your hands, you had to see what they did, but that is what helps you with the mindset now. Take care of the client. So
absolutely,
definitely appreciate you sharing that portion of it. Now, we've talked a lot about your journey, the business skills, but I do want to talk about Mike, because I'd like everyone to understand the reason why we do all of these things in small businesses, so we can take care of some of those other personal things that are on our checklist. If the accounts are continuing to come in, the residuals are continuing to increase, and time and money is not an issue, what is it that Mike would do with his time?
My time is my family, doing fun things with my two boys and my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter, and my wife. That is my family.
Okay.
Like I said, growing up away from my family, I'm not real tight with my cousins and stuff. They're they're like strangers to me.
Yeah.
So, having that family, and my one son has married into a really cool Italian family here locally that has all the cousins and stuff. So
Yes.
It's kind of interesting seeing those dynamics at Thanksgiving and stuff. When you literally go to a Thanksgiving and it's like 50 people.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
Okay.
it's huge.
Okay.
And everyone's getting along, everyone's having a good time, and that's fun. The other thing is just building something together with your family, being able to spend time with them, and helping your boys out and stuff like that. Like one of my boys is working for me, working for us now, and seeing him grow over the last 2 years and build that business type relationship instead of having the father-son relationship has actually been really cool.
Good.
So those are probably the biggest things. I mean, travel, cars, houses, golf. I mean, that's all fun stuff, and it's all cool to do. But if you don't enjoy the people you're doing with it, then what are you doing?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Well, you did name off two things, and I'll ask those. You said traveling. What's your next destination that you have on the list?
My next destination is going back to California.
Okay.
We're visiting
Sacramento.
family back there, and then I'm going to Fort Lauderdale later this year to work with one of our business partners. And then we have a trip to Vegas for my wife's mother's 85th birthday.
Okay.
So we're taking her to Vegas, and we're going to tear it up for 4 days.
I got you.
Have some fun down there, and those are the immediate things that are going to happen by the end of the year.
Okay, and then you mentioned cars, so I'm assuming these are all types of cars, classic cars. Tell me about your favorite car.
I'm a comfort guy, so I like newer technology.
Okay.
I'm not a big look at this they're cool looking cars and stuff, but the technology in them, you get them and it's
antiquated.
Yeah,
yes.
So I've got I have a Genesis,
GV80.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's a lot of fun to drive.
Nice.
But I like comfort. I like luxury. I like being able to tell my car to call this person or go here or go there and get a massage while you're driving and stuff like that. So I'm more of that type of guy. I'm not a guy that, if my wife sees me getting tools, there's a problem.
Oh my goodness!
She's going for the phone book. She's like, "Don't! You're gonna break something."
Right. Let me get help.
You are not a handyman.
I understand. I'm saying I'm not mechanically inclined myself, so I definitely understand that. Definitely appreciate you sharing that. Now, if someone in the audience has questions about yourself, your business, some of those best practices, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
If you wanted to call me directly, it would be 470-822-8683. Or you could email info@wingmanpayments.com, and we'd be happy to help you in any way we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today. And we always appreciate our guests coming on and sharing. It's not always easy to talk about some of those stories in there that weren't all positive. And we always honor our guests by giving them the last word. So please look into the camera and tell the people something good.
Yeah, just don't quit and keep falling forward.
Awesome. Hey, wise words from a wise man. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. And to everyone that is watching, be kind and thanks.